Dear students, welcome to the 19th session on direct and indirect speech rules for changing 4 types of sentences. In the previous session, we have learned some of the rules related to tense, pronouns, etc. And in this session, we are going to learn the rules related to different types of sentences. And here, at first, we discuss assertive sentences. Before discussing the rules, let's understand what an assertive sentence is. A sentence that makes a statement or assertion is called an assertive or declarative sentence. So you should understand that a sentence which makes a statement, that is called an assertive sentence. Example statements like I am a girl, I am a cricket player, or she is my favorite teacher. So all these sentences are called statement. And assertive sentence ends with a period. You should understand that all the assertive sentences or statements, they end with a full stop. You can see here this statement is ended with the full stop or a period. And here you should remember that after identifying the sentence, after identifying that the sentence is an assertive sentence, you have to use the reporting verb said that or told that. So you have to look at the sentence which is in direct speech, and you have to identify the type of sentence. If the sentence is in assertive sentence or if the sentence is a statement, you have to use the reporting verb said that or told that. Here let's look at the example. Naina said, I am very tired. See, I am very tired is a statement. It is ending with a period. And you should know that, you should understand that this is an assertive sentence. So after understanding the type of sentence, after understanding that this is an assertive sentence, you have to use the reporting verb said that here. See, Naina said that she was very tired. So here I pronoun, the pronoun I is changed into she and am is changed into was. So simple present tense is changed into simple past tense. So first thing that you have to do is, after looking at a sentence in direct speech, you have to identify the type of sentence. And if you identify the sentence to be an assertive sentence, then you have to use the introductory verb said that or told him, her, me or them that. Now let's understand when this told that should be used. The reporting verb said should be changed to told if you know whom this direct speech is addressed. For example, here you see this is direct speech, I am very tired, is addressed to Jagadish. So in such cases, when the statement is addressed to some person, then you should use told, the person name or the pronoun, and then that. You should not use said that here. Example, you see, Naina said Jagadish, I am very tired. Here the statement is said, the statement is addressed to Jagadish. So since the statement is addressed to a person and the person name is given in the sentence, we have to use told with the name of the person or pronoun and that. You see, Naina told Jagadish that she was very tired. So you must understand, said that should be used when the statement is not addressed to anyone, and told someone that should be used when the statement is addressed to someone in the sentence, which is in direct speech. And in addition to these, the tense of the verb and personal pronouns must be changed. Here you see the tense is changed, I am very tired is changed into she was very tired, and even the pronoun, personal pronouns like the pronoun I is changed into she. So along with following these rules that we discussed in the previous session, you have to decide which reporting verb should be used. Here in assertive sentences, that is in statements, you have to use the reporting verb said that and told him that if the name of the person to whom the sentence or the statement is addressed is given. So that is about assertive sentence. Now study the following examples. Now let's look at this example. Here you see Hema said. Here the other person name is not given. We don't know to whom this sentence or statement is addressed to. You should understand. And you look at this sentence. I want a computer. It is a statement. So it is an assertive sentence. So you should use said that, introductory verb said that you should use, and you should change the pronoun, and also you should change the tense of the verb. For example, see, Hema said that, we have used that. The pronoun I is changed into she, and the present tense form of the verb want is changed into wanted. So when we change this sentence into indirect speech, it will be Hema said that she wanted a computer. So you should observe it is a statement. So the introductory verb, the reporting verb said that is used here. Pronoun is changed and even the tense is also changed. In the same way, you see, you look at this example. Manjula said to me, I can lend you only 10 rupees. Here you see Manjula said to me. Here the pronoun me is given. That is, here a reference is there to the person to whom this statement is told. Tell means to say something to someone. So you have to use told here. So you should use Manjula told me that. You should not directly use told that. You have to use the name of the person or the proper noun or pronoun here. So Manjula told me that she, I is changed, pronoun is changed into, I is changed into she, and the modal auxiliary can is changed into its past tense form could. So tense form of the verb is also changed. So I can lend you, that is lend me, only 10 rupees. So you should understand that said that should be used when we do not have any person's name or pronoun to whom the statement is addressed. We should use told that, told with a pronoun or noun and then that when the statement is addressed to someone. You have to understand. And another important thing is you should know the type of sentence. Before changing a sentence into indirect speech, first you should look at the type of sentence it is in. If it is a proper noun, if it is a assertive sentence or if it is a statement, then the reporting verb should be used said that or told me that or told him that or told Savita that, like that. Now change the following sentences into indirect speech. She said to him, I am leaving now and shall return after 2 hours. Here the answer, it is a statement. She told him that, okay. Here told him that we are not using said that because here the pronoun him is there. We know the statement is addressed to some person to a person. So we use she told him that. Here I, the pronoun becomes he, and am leaving, present continuous will be changed into past continuous like was leaving. Now will be changed into then, and shall will be changed into would. Shall or will be changed into would. Written after 2 hours. So in this way the sentence is changed. So first you should identify the type of sentence and then you should understand that tense form of the sentence, in which tense it is in, and then you have to understand the pronoun, how to whom the statement is addressed. According to that you have to choose the pronoun, and also you have to see other changes that you have to make in the sentence. So these are the different examples which are given in the textbook and you can just have a look at them. The girl said to me, my father went to the market and bought toys for me. Here my father went to the market and bought toys for me. This is a statement. And you should know, my father went to the market. This is in simple past tense. The other part of the sentence, bought toys for me. This is also in simple past tense. So you know the rule that simple past tense should be changed into past perfect tense, that is had plus PP form of the verb. Here also had plus PP form of the verb. Here had is missing, sorry, had bought should be there. So the girl told me that her father had gone to market and had bought toys for me. Here had is missing, so it must be had plus bought. Then look at this sentence. His brother said to me, I am not going to attend the meeting today. So this is a statement, and the statement is addressed to someone. So we should use told me that. And here I, the pronoun changes into he. Am, the verb am changes into its past tense form. And not going to attend the meeting will be the same. And today will become that day. So his brother told me that he was not going to attend the meeting that day. In the same way, you see here, the inspector said to the people, we have caught the thief. This is the statement, that is, this is an assertive sentence. So, and the name of the person to whom the statement is addressed is also given. Here it is, this statement is addressed to people. So we should use told the people that. We should not use just said that. The inspector told the people that they had caught the thief. So have as changed into present perfect tense is changed into past perfect tense. In the same way, you look here, the teacher said, I will give you a test in English today. So this is an assertive sentence, and teacher said. Here we do not know to whom the statement is addressed. So we should use just said that, and I changes into she, will become would, and the rest of the sentence will be will give, you becomes us, a test in English today will become that day. A teacher said that she would give us a test in English that day. So now, after discussing assertive sentence and the reporting verb that we have to use along with the other changes that we have to make to change a statement sentence into indirect speech, let's look at another type of sentence, that is interrogative sentence. Now, before discussing the rules to be followed by changing an interrogative sentence into reported speech, let's understand what an interrogative sentence is. Interrogative sentences are questioning sentences. You should understand interrogative sentences are questions. And as you all know, there are two types of questions. First, let's look at the first type of question. Just a second. There are two types of questions. They are WH questions and yes or no questions. At first, we will look at what are these WH questions. What these WH questions are. The questions starting with WH words like who, what, when, why, where, which, whose, whom, etc. are called WH questions. So, the questions which begin with WH words such as who, you see, what, when, why, where, which. These kind of questions are called WH questions. And you look here, let's first discuss this WH question, these WH questions, and then we will move on to yes or no questions. Just look here, when will the game begin? Said Pratik or asked Pratik. Pratik asked when the game would begin. So here another thing that I missed telling here is when you identify that the sentence which is in direct speech is a question, then the reporting verb should be asked or inquired. Here we do not use said that or told that. You understand? In question type of sentences, the reporting verb should be asked or inquired. So you have to use the reporting verb asked, and that should not be used with the word asked. So it just asked you have to use. And just let's look at the example. When will the game begin? And usually these questions are interrogative sentences. They end with a question mark. But assertive sentences end with a period or full stop. But interrogative sentences end with a question mark. And they are quoted within the inverted comma, as you know. And you see, when will the game begin? Asked Pratik. So it should be changed into indirect speech like Pratik asked. Okay, we are not using said that here because it is a question. So you should use asked when the game would begin. So when the game, here you should observe the subject will come first and then the helping verb will take the place of subject. Vice versa, you should use the subject first and then the helping verb. Here when the game, will is changed into would. You know, the tense form will simple present tense will be simple future tense is changed into future conditional sentence. So will is changed into would, begin. So while reporting a question type of sentences, you should use the reporting verb asked, and you should use the same WH word which is in indirect speech, and after using the WH word, you have to use the subject first and then you have to use the will. So here the subject has come first and then will, the changed form of the will, the word would, has come after the subject. And let's look at another example. Kiran said, which subject have you chosen? Here you see, by looking at the question mark itself, you can identify that it is an interrogative sentence. So you should decide that the reporting verb should be asked and it should not be said. So Kiran asked me which, here asked me, asked is used, and here the WH word is retained and subject is retained. Have you chosen? Here you see have should come next and you should come first. So here you is changed into I and have is changed into had. It has taken its past tense form, chosen. So have chosen is in present perfect tense and had chosen is in past perfect tense. So you should understand here, since this is a question, since this is an interrogative sentence, the reporting verb asked should be used and then WH word, the same WH word has to be retained with subject, and here this change you have to understand. You have to use the subject first and then the verb. You should understand that you should use the noun or subject here first and then the helping verb along with the changes that you make. So you is changed into I, have is changed into had. So after discussing the WH questions, we will move on to another type of question. They are yes or no questions. The questions which begin with auxiliary words like is, am, are, has, have, had, does, do, did, etc. These questions are called yes or no questions. Okay, you should remember questions which begin with any of these auxiliary verbs, then such questions are called yes or no questions because they expect the answer yes, either yes or no. That is why they are called yes or no questions. So if the question is an yes or no question, we have to add the word if or whether. Any one of these should be added to indirect speech. So you should understand that if the interrogative sentence or questioning sentence is an yes or no questions, then you have to add the word if or whether while reporting it. Okay, and see, after looking at the sentence, first you will understand the type of sentence and then you will understand if it is an interrogative sentence, you have to see whether it is a WH question or whether it is a yes or no question. If it is a WH question, then you need not, there is no need for you to add if or whether. But if the question is an yes or no question, or if the question begins with any of these helping verbs, then you have to add if or whether to this indirect speech. Now look at this sentence. Did you bring your pen today? So question mark is there. So it is an interrogative sentence. And this question is beginning with a helping verb called did. Asked Anu. And when we change it into reported speech, we say like this. Anu asked. Here also the reporting verb should be asked. Just like we use the reporting verb asked with WH question, the same reporting verb has to be used here because it is a question. Anu asked, see we have added the word if here. Okay, Anu asked if, you takes the first place here, you is changed into I, the pronoun, and did is the helping verb here, and it is in simple past tense. Did changes into had plus PP form of the verb. Here bring is the verb, the the past participle form of the word bring is used here. So if I had brought my pen, today is changed into that day. So this simple past tense sentence is changed into past perfect tense. Here also you should understand, immediately after using the reporting verb, you should use the word if, and then first you have to use the subject making the necessary changes, and then you should see the kind of tense in which that sentence is in. So this is in simple past tense. So you have to change the simple past tense sentence into past perfect tense. And you see, we remove the question mark here and put the full stop. This becomes a statement again. And let's look at another example. Have the children gone home? Asked the principal. This is also an yes or no question because the question has started with the helping verb have and it is ending with a question mark. So while reporting the interrogative sentences, we have to use asked and we have to use the word if for whether immediately after that. So here whether, the word whether is used, and the children comes first and the helping verb comes after. And have the children gone home is in present perfect tense. This will be changed into past perfect tense, and this question is changed into statement. The sentence will be have gone will be changed into had gone. See, the principal asked whether the children had gone home. So this becomes the statement. So you should understand that an interrogative sentence should be changed into reported speech using the reporting verb called using the reporting verbs asked or inquired. And you should understand, you should identify the type of sentence because there are two types of questions. There are WH questions and yes or no question. So you should identify which type of question it is. If it is an yes or no question, then you have to use a word if or whether with the statement. And you see, we will look at the same thing here. Change set to asked or inquired. Here in assertive sentences we use change as a reporting verb. We use said as a reporting verb, but in interrogative sentence we use asked or inquired. And when an interrogative sentence begins with an interrogative word like what, who, which, whom, whose, when, and the indirect speech is introduced by the same word. In the indirect speech also we use the same, we retain the same WH word. And when an interrogative sentence begins with an auxiliary verb such as is, am, are, do, does, may, etc., the indirect speech is introduced by if or whether. And the interrogative form of the sentence is changed into statement form. Questions will become statements. The question mark is replaced by a full stop. And negative or verbal abbreviations like shan't or can't, isn't, etc., they take their full form in reported speech. And it will become shall not, can't becomes cannot, and isn't become is not. And the tense of the verb and the personal nouns must be changed. Now let's look at these examples. He said to me, which bus stops here? Here, this is a interrogative sentence and this is a WH question because it is starting with which, and here we have to use the reporting verb asked because it is a question type of sentence. He asked me, which is written here. Bus also is there. Bus is there. Bus is also written there. And stops, it is in simple past tense. So it is changed into simple past, stopped. Here becomes there. Look at this sentence. He said to him, where are you going? Here this is a interrogative sentence and this is a WH question and it has to be introduced with the reporting verb. We have to use the reporting verb asked. and same word where is written here. Are is changed, you is changed into he, and are is changed into was. So present continuous tense is changed into past continuous tense, and the question mark is removed and period is put here because this has become a statement. He asked him where he was going. Here, look at this. Have you played cricket? Meera asked him. Here, this is an interrogative sentence and it is a yes or no question because the question has started with an auxiliary verb have. And have you played cricket? This is in present perfect tense. And you becomes he. Meera asked him if. See, and another thing, the word if is used. If or whether should be used with yes or no question. If he had played cricket. So the answer must be if he had played cricket. Here had is missing. Sorry, I forgot to add this word add. Had, H-E-A-D, had should be used here. So Meera asked him if he had played cricket. So these are some of the other examples which are given in your textbooks and the answers are being given here. And see, I take up just one question with the answer. His wife said to him, do you know that the maid stole our money? Here, this is an interrogative sentence and this is an yes or no question because it has started with a helping verb and it is in simple present tense. So this should be changed into simple past tense. So his wife asked him whether or if he knew. Simple present tense will become simple past. Whether he knew that the maid stole. It is in simple past tense. So this simple past tense will be changed into past perfect tense. Had plus PP form of the verb. The maid had stolen their money. Our is changed into their. So you look at these examples and identify what are the changes are made with regard to the reporting verb, with regard to the tense and also with regard to pronouns and other changes. Now after discussing assertive sentences and interrogative sentence, let's understand what imperative sentences are and what are the rules to be followed while changing these sentences into indirect speech. Imperative sentence is a statement that expresses a command or request, an advice or a suggestion. For example, you see, open the door. It is suggesting a command or it is expressing a command. Please help me. This statement is expressing a request. Quit smoking. It is expressing advice. And do not waste your time. It is an advice. Let's go for a walk. It's they are proposing, it's a propose. So in this way you should understand imperative sentences are commanding sentences or ordering sentences or requesting sentences. Usually they express command, request, advice, suggestions, etc. And one thing you should understand, most of the imperative sentences start with verbs. When the direct speech is in imperative sentence, the reporting verb say or tell is changed to some verb expressing a command, advice or request. Here you should see, in the assertive sentence we used to use said that or told that. And in interrogative sentence we used to use the reporting verb asked. But here we use different type of reporting verbs. We use reporting verbs such as requested, okay, or advised or ordered, asked, told, etc. And said changes into requested, advised, ordered, asked, told, etc. And told generally introduces an order or a command. For example, he told me to close the door or he told me to bring the chocolates, like that. And ask usually introduces a request. For example, he asked me to give her book or she asked me for money. So such things, these words indicate or introduces different imperative modes. The verb of the direct speech is turned into infinitive form. Another thing that you should remember, while changing these type of sentences into indirect speech, you have to use the infinitive form along with these reporting verbs. such as to. An infinitive form is to plus verb. For example, to give or to take or to write, to read. So such an infinitive should be used in these sentences. And in the negative sentences, not is put before the infinitive. For example, don't close the door. This is an imperative sentence with a which is in negative form. In such cases, we should say, he told me not to close the door. So in the negative sentences, we should use not along with the infinitive. So you should understand that imperative sentences are commanding sentences or requesting sentences, or they can also be said as ordering sentences. Here in imperative sentences, we use the reporting verb he ordered me, or she commanded me, or she advised me, or we say she requested me. So we use these words in their past form as reporting verbs, and along with these reporting verbs we use infinitive form. So we add to the verb which is given in the sentence. That is generally not used here, and you should understand that the word that will not be used with these type of sentences. Then should is placed before the imperative instead of to. Sometimes we use should instead of to. When let in the direct speech expresses a personal proposal or suggestion, you may use should or change the reporting verb into propose or suggest. For example, you see, he said to us, let us have some food. So when the word let is used in direct speech, and if it is a proposal or suggestion, then we have to use the word should here. Okay, you should understand, if the sentence starts with the let in imperative sentence, then we should, and if it is a proposal, we have to change the reporting verb into suggested or he proposed. We have to use either of these two words, and then we have to use should with the sentence. Here this sentence is changed like this: he proposed or suggested to us that we should have some food. In that way, this is a special case. You have to remember this example very well. When the sentence starts with let in imperative sentence and it suggests a proposal or suggestion, then you have to use the reporting verb proposed or suggested along with using the word should. Then another case is when let does not express proposal, it should be changed into might or might be allowed, or into some other verb according to the sense. So another thing, if the sentence starts with let and it does not express proposal, then you should not use the word should there. Instead, you should use might be allowed or might. So you should understand that if the sentence starts with let and it does not express proposal, then instead of should you have to use might or might be allowed. Example, you see, he said to his friends, let me study please. Here let me study please is not a proposal. So in that case we should change the sentence into reported speech like this. He requested his friends that, here we use the word that, he might be allowed to study. Okay, you should understand this is a rare case. These two cases are quite different. In imperative sentence starting with let, if they express proposal, then reporting verb should be proposed or suggested. That should not be used, and should be used. And if the sentence starts with let but it does not express any proposal or suggestion, then we have to use the word that along with the request or something, whatever the sentence convey. That sense have to be suggested with the word, and then we should use might be allowed or might. Look at this example. He said to her, give me a glass of water. Here this is an imperative sentence because it is starting with a verb, and also it is a kind of request. Give me a glass of water. So it is suggesting a request. So you should understand that it is an imperative sentence. So whenever you change a sentence into indirect speech, first you have to look at the type of sentence. You should see whether it is an assertive sentence or interrogative sentence or an imperative sentence, and after according to that, according to the type of sentence, you have to change it into indirect speech with the suitable reporting verb. If it is a statement, you should say said that. If it is a question, you should say asked. If it is an imperative sentence, you should understand the command or the sentence which is indicate what the sentence is indicating, whether it is indicating a command or request or order, and according to that you have to give the suitable reporting verb. Here, since this is a request, you are using he requested, and then a pronoun or noun, requested her or requested Sunita or requested Raghu to give him. Here you see we are using infinitive here. We are adding to the verb which is given in the sentence. To give me is changed into him a glass of water. So we are changing the tense and the pronouns, and also we are adding to to the verb, and the reporting verb is requested. In the sentence, the officer said, "Don't bring the leave applications now." Here this sentence is in negative sentence, but it is an imperative sentence. Then we say, the officer ordered, because since this is an order, we have to, you have to understand the sense of the statement. So since it is an order, we are using ordered and not to bring. Here verb to the verb we are adding to, infinitive, to bring. And since it is a negative sentence, we are adding not. Not to bring the leave applications. Now will become then. In the same way, you see, Nandini said to her friend, "Wait till I do this work." So Nandini asked her friend. Here, since this is a casual request, then we are using asked. Asked her friend to wait till she did that work. The railway conductor said to her, "Please don't file a complaint." Here, when the word please is used, we understand that it's a request. Then the railway conductor requested her not to file a complaint. Here we are using not because the sentence is in negative form. In the same way, you look at all these sentences, all these imperative sentences which are changed into indirect speech. We will look at the first example. The landlord said to his servant, "Go away and leave the room at once." So it is an imperative sentence. And the landlord is commanding his servant, is ordering his servant. So we say the landlord ordered his servant. We are adding to the verb to go away and to leave the room at once. So these are very simple sentences, and if you understand the rules properly, they can be correctly changed into indirect speech. Here another simple example. The doctor said to the patient, "Do not smoke." He is advising him. So the doctor advised the patient not to smoke. So look at these other examples, and you just try to understand the changes which have been made. Now, after discussing the first three types of sentences, such as assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, and imperative sentence, we will look at the last type of sentence, that is exclamatory sentence. First, we will understand the definition of exclamatory sentence. A sentence which expresses a sorrow, joy, or wonder or surprise is known as exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence makes a statement, but it also conveys excitement or emotions. So here you should see how beautiful this city is. It is expressing the state of wonder. And here, look at this sentence. And another thing you should remember, exclamatory sentences, they will have exclamatory mark with them. And you look at this, "Alas, I failed the test." It is expressing a state of sorrow. "Hurrah, I bought a new shirt," or "I bought a nice shirt." It is expressing a state of joy. "Forgive me." It's a state of regret. So these type of sentences which express state of sorrow, joy or wonder, they are called exclamatory sentences. Some of the exclamatory phrases, hurrah or ha, they express joy. And the exclamatory phrases such as alas, oh, these two express sorrow, regret or loss. And the words like what, ho, how, wow, these express delight or joy. Po, sha, these express contempt. Let's look at the rules to be followed to change exclamatory sentences into reported speech. In reporting a wish or an explanation in indirect speech, the reporting verb say or tell is changed into wish, bless, pray, cry, claim, declare, confess, cry out, etc. with such phrases as with regret, with delight, with joy, with sorrow where necessary. Here, in simple way we can say said must be replaced. Here we should not use the word said like how we use the word said with that in assertive sentence. But here in these type of sentences we should not use the reporting verb said. Instead we should use the reporting verb exclaimed. Okay, and along with the word exclaimed we have to use the words like with joy. If the sentence is expressing joy, we should say he exclaimed with joy. Or if the sentence is expressing sorrow, then we should say we should use the reporting verb exclaimed along with sorrow or with surprise, with shock or with pain, with joy or with delight, like that. The reporting verb should be exclaimed along with the kind of emotion or the kind of feeling the sentence is expressing. Words such as what a, how, alas, bravo, hurrah, they are expressive of strong feelings and they must be omitted, but their sense must be expressed by means of phrases. Here you see, if there is a sentence like what a beautiful bird, then we should omit or we should skip the word what a or how, alas, bravo, hurrah. These expressions which express strong feelings should not be used again in the reported speech. Instead, their sense or their feelings of these phrases should be carried with the words like with joy, with sorrow, etc. And the actual words of the speaker are changed into statement and exclamatory becomes assertive. Here, exclamatory mark will be removed. Instead, at the end of the sentence, we put full stop. That means exclamatory sentence will be changed into assertive sentence. Now, let's look at the example. Ramesh said, hurrah, India has won the series against England. So, this sentence is exclamatory sentence. And you know, while reporting an exclamatory sentence, the reporting verb should be exclaimed. And since this word is expressing joy, we should use he exclaimed or Ramesh exclaimed with joy. That should be used. India has won. Present perfect tense will be changed into past perfect tense. The series against England. So the reporting verb is exclaimed and this word exclamatory word hurrah is expressing joy. So we are saying he exclaimed with joy. That word is used and the tense of the sentence is changed. The present perfect is changed into past perfect. Let's look at the second example. She said, oh, the painting is beautiful. So she's expressing her wonder with oh, the word oh. So she exclaimed with wonder that the painting is beautiful. Present tense is changed into past tense. The painting was beautiful. In the same way, look at the third sentence. What a tragedy that he has died in the accident. So it's expressing sorrow. He said, we should say he exclaimed with sorrow, because this is indicating, the statement is indicating sorrow. With sorrow that he died, simple past tense, has died, present perfect tense is changed into past perfect tense, had died in the accident. So in this way, you should remember that in the exclamatory sentences, the reporting verb exclaimed should be used along with the phrase like with joy, with sorrow, with delight, and that should be used after that, and all the necessary changes related to tense and pronouns should be made. And these are the other examples which are given in the textbook. The first one we'll discuss. The woman said, "What a beautiful child this is." So she is expressing her wonder. So we should say the woman exclaimed with wonder that, okay, this will be changed into that. So the woman exclaimed with wonder that child was very beautiful. And second sentence, his aunt said, "What a pleasant surprise to see you here." So it is an astonishment, surprise. You can say his aunt exclaimed with astonishment, that is surprise, that it was a surprise to see him there. The captain said, "Bravo, well done boys." The captain applauded with joy, or the captain exclaimed with joy that his boys did very well. Now let's recapitulate all that we have learned in this session. We have learned 4 types of sentences and the rules to be followed while changing these sentences into indirect speech. The first type of sentence that we looked was assertive sentence. Assertive sentences are statements, and we should use the reporting verbs said or told that. We should use said that with the statements where the statement is not addressed to anyone, but we should use told me that or told with the pronoun, and then pronoun or noun and that when the statement is addressed to someone. And the second type of sentence that we discussed was interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentences are questioning sentences, and the reporting verbs asked or inquired are used here, and we do not use that with the interrogative sentences. There are 2 types of interrogative sentences. They are WH questions and yes or no questions. And with yes or no questions, we use if or whether. And the third type of sentences that we discussed was imperative sentences. A sentence that expresses a command, a request, an advice or a suggestion are called imperative sentences. Here the reporting verb like commanded, ordered, requested, asked, told plus infinitive, that is 2 plus verb, is used. Example, he commanded me to take up the job, or he requested me to pass on the book. Like that, sentences should be used. The other type of sentence, like this, the a sentence in imperative mode should be changed into indirect speech. The other type of sentence that we discussed was exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentences are sentences which express sorrow, joy or wonder, and with such sentences, while changing them into reported speech, we should use the reporting verb exclaimed with joy or with sorrow, with surprise, with shock, with pain, followed by that. So an example can be, he exclaimed with joy that she had passed the exam, or she had won the match, like that. Thank you.